Hi everyone, good morning to all of you. Welcome to UN Digital class. Today I am going to discuss on a subject regarding financial institutions and market. So on today's discussion, the subject or the topic is relating to dematerialization. So first we will discuss what is dematerialization, what is the process of dematerialization, and what is the basic difference between dematerialization and a rematerialization, and the benefits derived by the process of dematerialization regarding shares, debentures or any other securities issued by different financial companies. So we will discuss one by one. So first question, what is DMAT? So DMAT is the short form of dematerialization. So this means conversion of physical securities into electronic form. It is a process whereby your securities like shares, debentures, etc. are converted into electronic data and stored in computers by a depository. So depository is the body which is responsible for storing and maintaining investors' securities in DMAT or electronic form. In India, there are two depositories, that is NSDL and a CDSL. So first we will discuss what is DMAT. DMAT, that implies the conversion of physical shares or securities into electronic form. So when investors wants to purchase the shares through a registered brokers, in that case the shares at the time of a purchase that will be stored by the broker in electronic form. So when that physical securities that is stored in electronic form by the system or by a broker through computer, that is called as a dematerialization, or in short we can say that is DMAT. So this is a process whereby investors' securities like any type of shares, debentures or other financial instruments, when that is purchased by the investors, that shares or securities or debentures, when that is converted into electronic form and stored in a computer by a depository, then that is called as a dematerialization. So when that is question arises, what is depository or who are the depository? So depository means it is the body or it is one organization approved by Government of India. That organization is responsible for storing and maintaining investors' shares or securities in electronic form or in a DMAT form. And in India, there are two prominent depository system or depository organization approved by Government of India, that is National Securities Depository Limited, which is NSDL, and another one is Central Depository Service Limited, that is CDSL. So the next part, that is dematerialization. Dematerialization may refers to in a different form. If you will take into consideration the meaning of dematerialization, so from different point or different angle we can say the meaning of dematerialization differ from situation to situation. So in economics term or economic point of view, dematerialization refers to the reduction in quantity of material required to serve economic function. That means doing more with less. So when any organization that do more with less, that is one type of a dematerialization, and that is in economic term. In case of a securities firm or in financial point of view, we can say that the dematerialization may refers to moving from handling paper security certificate to book form, that is usually electronic form. That means if we will consider dematerialization from financial point of view or securities point of view, that basically refers to moving of a paper securities, that means the reducing the paper form into electronic form. When the securities or the certificates, share certificates, that is converted into electronic form in book form, then that is called as a dematerialization. Then dematerialization of the art object, an idea in conceptual art where the art object is no longer material. That means when any object or art object that is no longer required, then we can convert into dematerialization form. An idea of a conceptual art, that is called as a dematerialization. In product point of view, we can say that or that dematerialization refers to using less or no material to deliver the same level of functioning. That means functionality. When any product that is used, in that case using of less or no material that deliver that products in functional level, that is called as a dematerialization. DMAT accounts, a type of a banking account in India where paper-based physical shares are stored electronically. So DMAT account basically refers to, it is a system of account or it is a type of a banking account in India where the paper-based physical certificate that is converted or that is stored in electronic form. So then we can discuss what is the benefits of a DMAT. So the first one is demat format reduces the risks of a bad deliveries. That means when investors shares or securities that is converted into electronic form from physical point of view or paperless work is there, then there is a chances of a less bad deliveries. We can avoid the risks of a bad deliveries by the process of a dematerialization. Then time and money is saved as you are not dealing in paperwork. You need not go to the notary or broker for taking delivery or submitting the share certificate. So when dematerialization process is there, that means there is no paperwork and there is no need to investor go to any notary or no need to go to the broker firm to take the physical certificate of shares or taking delivery or submitting the share certificate to the broker. Everything is reduced. Time is reduced and also money is saved due to less paperwork or there is no paperwork. Everything is done in electronic form. Then liquidity is very high in case of a demat format as whole process is automated. So that means when a dematerialization is done, everything is done electronically or technologically. So that means there is a high chances of a liquidity in a certain fraction of a moment. The physical share certificate is converted into electronic form. That means investor when wants to sell easily they can sell it. There is no need to go to the broker. So the liquidity is very high as the whole process is automated. All the benefits of a corporate action like bonus, stock split, right share, bonus share or everything else that is managed through depository dealing to elimination of a transit loss. So when dematerialization is done, investors are feel secure. That means from broker point of view or from register corporate point of view, any type of a bonus issue is there or any type of a stock split is there, right issue is there or any process is made in financial market, everything can be managed through the depository leading and there is elimination of losses. There is no chance of a loss. Interest on a loan against demat shares are less as compared to physical shares. So when physical shares is there is a chance of a loan or the interest on a loan is high. But in case of a dematerialization share, that means there is no or less amount of interest charge is made if investor wants to take loan by the amount of a share that is held electronically. Then the next point is investors save stamp duty while transferring shares in demat format. So when shares are converted into demat form, in that case there is no stamp duty. So from that point of view, the stamp duty charges also reduced. Investors save that money. One needs to pay less brokerage in case of a demat share. So when demat share is made, in that case there is less charges of a brokerage from broker point of view, and in that case investor money is also saved to certain extent. Then who are the participants of demat? One is investor, second one is depository. There are two depository institute. One is NSDL, that is National Securities Depository Limited. Another one is CDSL, Central Depository of Securities India Limited. Then the third one is depository participants. Then the next one is the issuing company. So basically there are four participants in a dematerialization process. One is investor, second one is the depository organization, and the third one is depository participants, and the fourth one is issuing company. So there are two prominent depository institute approved by Government of India for dealing the process of a dematerialization. One is the National Securities Depository Limited NSDL, another one is the Central Depository Service of India Limited CDSL. So we have to discuss what is NSDL, what are the functions of NSDL, and when it was established, what type of a service that is providing till now. Then we can discuss CDSL. So NSDL, it was established in the year 1996 in the month of August, and this is the first depository institute providing dematerialization service facility in India. This depository, promoted by institution of national statute responsible for economic development of the country, since it was established as a national infrastructure of international standard which handles most of the securities held and settled in a dematerialized form in Indian capital market. So since its establishment, it was playing a very important role for economic development of the country, and also established as a national infrastructure of international standard, and it was providing all type of securities holding and securities settlement process in a dematerialization form in the Indian capital market. NSDL has around 1,23,84,644 investors that associated with it currently and has 14,336 service centers all over India. So if we will discuss the service facility and the investors, then we can say that NSDL till now providing huge number of investors, those are associated with the dematerialization process, and till now in India there are 14,336 service centers, those are providing NSDL service facilities. Then we will go to discuss CDSL, which is Central Depository of Service India Limited. CDSL received the certificate of commencement of a business from SEBI in February 1999. So it was established in the year 1999 in the month of February, and it is a SEBI approved organization, and it got its certificate of commencement from SEBI in the month of February in the year 1999. All leading stock exchange like National Stock Exchange, Calcutta Stock Exchange, Delhi Stock Exchange, the Stock Exchange Ahmedabad, etc. have established connectivity with CDSL. So in CDSL there are various stock exchanges, those are approved by SEBI. They are connected for providing depository service facilities like National Stock Exchange, Calcutta Stock Exchange, Ahmedabad Stock Exchange, or Delhi Stock Exchange, or any other stock exchange. Those are established connectivity or connection or link with CDSL. Currently around 80 lakh investors and 12,000 companies have admitted their securities relating to equities, bond, debenture, commercial paper, or any other units of a mutual fund certificate of deposits into CDSL system. So CDSL service also very large. It has expanded its service facility, and now more than 81 lakhs investors and more than 12,000 companies or service centers, they are providing CDSL service facilities and relating to equity market or bond market or debenture market or commercial paper or any other financial instrument, as well as various types of mutual fund certificate also deal with the CDSL. CDSL has around 568 depository participants in around 13,000 different locations all over India. So if we will take into consideration from different angle or different location of India, then we can say that more than 13,000 different locations are there, in which 568 depository participants they are providing service facilities. So who are the depository participants? Then we will discuss relating to that. Depository participants, or we can say that DP. DP is an agent of the depository who is authorized to offer depository service to investors. So the participants or the agents, those are providing service relating to depository service facility, and basically the service facility is made to different investors, and that is called as a depository participants, and the depository participants are the agent approved or authorized by the depository service for the organizations. Financial institutions, bank, custodians, stockbrokers, they are complying with the requirement prescribed by the SEBI, or the depository can register as a depository participant. So different financial institutions, different banks, or the stockbroker associations, or any other custodians, those are prescribed or approved by the SEBI or by the depository organization, they can register as depository participants. Unless and otherwise they are approved by SEBI or a depository service organization, they cannot register as a depository participants. So what are the precautions that need to be taken at the time of a dematerialization process? Holding in these securities that have not yet been admitted for dematerialization by NSDL cannot be dematerialized, and a list of securities admitted for dematerialization should be verified before defacing the securities. So unless and until the dematerialization process service facility is not admitted by NSDL, in that case the organization those are providing that facilities, they are not taken into consideration. So that one precaution must have to take into consideration holding of a securities, and dematerialization must have been approved or admitted by NSDL. If that is not approved or not admitted by NSDL, then the dematerialized cannot be taken into consideration. Then the second precautions, holding in street name cannot be dematerialized. If any street name is mentioned, in that case the dematerialization process cannot be made. the combination of a name of holders as printed in the physical certificate should be identical with the name initiating the dematerialization request. So the investors, those shares are invested in physical form. If that name of the investor that is not same with the physical form of a share certificate to the electronic form, or those investors they wants to invest or convert their shares into electronic form, both name must have to be signify or equal. If their name is not mismatched or if that is not matched properly, in that case dematerialization process cannot be made. So that means at the time of a dematerialization the name must have to be same in physical share certificate compared to electronic share certificate which is going to be dematerialized. Then separate dematerialization request will have to be filled for lock-in and free holdings. If there is any free holdings or lock-in is there, so in that case separate dematerialization request must have been submitted by the investor. Separate dematerialization request will have to be filled for holding lock-in for a different reason. If there is holding or lock-in is there for different grounds or reason, in that case also different dematerialization request must have been made. Separate dematerialization request also have to be filled for holding the different ISN of a company. If there is a different ISIN of a company, in that case the investors must have to be filed with the different dematerialization request form. Then another one is separate dematerialization request will also have to be taken into consideration if there is fully paid and partly paid of holdings. So when investor shares are fully paid or that is a case of partly paid of shares, in that case also for every type of shares whether fully paid or partly paid, separate dematerialization request form will have to be taken into consideration. So these are the some of the precautions at the time of a dematerialization process must have been taken into consideration by the investors. So now question arises, who is the investor or who is the beneficial owner? An individual can be an investor, partnership firm taken into consideration as an investor, Hindu undivided family also coming into this, and any type of a company, those are formed under Companies Act. So they can also taken as investors or the beneficial owner. So beneficial owner means a person whose name a demat account is opened. That means the person or the institute or the organization in whose favor or in whose name the demat account is opened, that is called as the beneficial owner. And that demat account is opened with the depository for the purpose of holding securities in electronic form. So the demat account when it is opened, that must have been taken into consideration securities form or electronic form. If the demat form or demat account is opened for any other purpose, then in that case that is not the beneficial owner. So the next process, how to open a demat account. To open a demat account, there are several process or methods, procedures must be taken into consideration. So demat account must be opened with the depository participants. Those are the depository participants, they can open the demat account. Otherwise, demat account cannot be opened. Then fill up the dematerialization request form and submit together with the share certificate which is to be demat. One investor when wants to convert the physical share certificate into electronic form, in that case the investor must have to submit a DRF, that means dematerialization request form, that must have been filled up and that must have been submitted, and along with that the physical share certificate which the investor wants to dematerialize, that must have been taken into consideration and that must have been along with the DRF and any other documents. The certificate, physical share certificate must have been submitted. Then the depository participants upon receipt of the shares and the dematerialization request form will issue one acknowledgement, and that will be sent to electronic request to the company or the registrars or the transfer agents of the company through the depository for confirmation of a demat. So after receiving the DRF and the share certificate, the depository participants as soon as receive that will issue an acknowledgement form, and that will be sent to the electronic request, or that means that will be sent for conversion into electronic form, and that must have been sent to the company or to the registrar of a company or any other transfer agents of the company, and that must have been sent through depository organization for confirmation of a demat. Then there are certain documents that must have been required at the time of opening Demat account. So to open a Demat account, you have to provide documents which fulfill the requirement of a KYC, that means know your customer norms. You have to sign contract with stockbroker. Generally, the following documents are to be mandatory. The first one is PAN, that means permanent account number. So investor, those who wants to open Demat account, they must have with a PAN number or permanent account number, that is compulsory. Then bank statement, at least last 6 month bank statement must be required at the time of opening Demat account. Then one cancelled check from any nationalized banks. Then address proof, and the another one is income tax return and a 2 color passport size photo. So these are the some of the documents that must have been required at the time of opening Demat account by one investor. So what is certification of program? The NSDL depository operation module, how it can be made? This program helps the candidate to understand the assimilate procedure to be followed for conducting various type of a transaction in NSDL depository service. NSDL has made it mandatory for all branches of a depository participants to have at least one person qualified in certification program. So as per NSDL criteria or norm, it is mandatory that all depository participants or all the branches of a depository participants, they must have to be at least one person, those are qualified the certification program implemented or conducted by NSDL. So that is one type of a depository operational module. So what is the procedure for Demat for an investor? First, fill the Demat request form along with DP, or which is available, that form is available with the depository participants. Then deface the share certificates, that means one wants to dematerialize by writing across surrender for dematerialization. So after fill up the dematerialization request form, the investor must have to be deface the share certificate, that means which is the physical share certificate that must have been defaced, and that means that is dematerialized or converted into electronic form. Then submit the dematerialization request form and the share certificate to depository participants. After that, depository participants would forward them to the issuer or their registrar or the transfer agent. Then investor's depository account would be credited with the dematerialized securities. So after confirmation by the registrar and the transfer agent, the certificate or the shares, those are held in physical form, that is converted into electronic form, which is called as a dematerialization securities. So the time involved in the process, what is the minimum time length which is required for a conversion of a physical share certificate into electronic form or Demat form? Generally 15 days must be required after the share certificate has been issued or reached to the issuer or to the registrar or the transfer agent. Hence, it will take only a month from the date one hands over shares to receive Demat credit. So maximum period 1 month. Within that period, the investor must take its electronic share certificate or those shares that are held or purchased at the time of a purchasing of shares or securities, that is converted into electronic form within a maximum period of 1 month. Normally that is completed within 15 days. In certain cases that may require a maximum period of 1 month. So who are the value added services or e-service they are providing Demat services or dematerialization service facility? One is SpeeDe. So SpeeDe enables Demat account holders to submit delivery instruction directly on the internet through SpeeDe website. Another one is Ideas. Ideas means internet based Demat account statement. It is the facility for viewing the balance and a transaction in the Demat accounts updated on an online basis with a delay of a maximum 30 minutes. So this type of a service facility which is made Demat accounts updated within a maximum period of 30 minutes. Another one is SteeDe. SteeDe also one type of a e-service facility that enables the brokers to deliver or submit the contract notes to different custodians or the fund managers electronically by transmitting digital signed trade information with encryption. It further enables fund manager to enrich the contract note and convert the instruction for the custodian. So SteeDe can be used for financial institution investors trade and domestic institutional trade. So foreign institutional investors as well as domestic institutional traders, for them SteeDe also can be used in present scenario. Another one is depository account validation or DAN. It is an secured internet based service facility that provides online interface enabling the subscribers to validate DP ID, client ID as well as PAN of investors through a file that is updated. What are the other benefits made in dematerialization? Allotment directly in demat form possible. Pledge of a demat holding also possible. Lending or borrowing of a demat securities can also be made through intermediary. Freezing of account also possible. Transmission of holdings and a nomination facility or nomination benefits also made in dematerialization process. Then the another one is rematerialization. That means when the physical shares converted into electronic form, that is called as a demat. The reverse process is called as a remat. That means electronic form, when it is converted into physical form, that is called as a rematerialization. And in that case, an investor can rematerialize his share by filling a form that is called as a remat request form, which is known as RRF. In case of a dematerialization, there is a DRF or demat request form. In case of a rematerialization, that is remat request form. So this is the whole process of dematerialization and rematerialization. In case of a dematerialization, first investor surrender the physical certificate to DP. The second one is DP informs to the depository. Then apart from that, DP submits the certificate to the registrar or the transfer agent. Then registrar communicate with the depository to confirm the request. After that, dematerialization of a certificate is done by the registrar. Accounts updated by the registrar, then accounts are uploaded by the depository and DP is informed, then demat account of the investor is updated by the depository participants. But in case of a rematerialization, there is a short process. First, investor makes a request of a rematerialization to the DP, then DP informs to the depository service, then depository confirms the request to the registrar or the share transfer agent. Then registrar update the accounts and print the certificate for the investors. After that, accounts are updated and by the depository, details are provided to the depository participants. Then investor receive the certificate in physical form or the rematerialization process is completed. So this is all about our dematerialization and rematerialization. So we have already completed what is dematerialization, what is the process of a dematerialization, what are the documents or essential criteria to be required at the time of opening demat account, what is the benefits, then what is rematerialization and the detailed process of a dematerialization and rematerialization. In today's class, everything is completed. Hope you must have aware about that. In the next class, we will discuss the other parts relating to financial market or instruments. Thank you. Have a good day to all of you.